Due to the pandemic, One Kingdom's international travel has been extremely limited. Needless to say, we were thrilled to make our first overseas trip in over a year. And what better place to make that first visit than the Dominican Republic, home to One Kingdom partners Prudencio Rodriguez and Manuel Aquino. We'll split into two teams, one reaching the northern coast near Puerto Plata in Mao, where Prudencio lives, and the other on the southwestern part of the country in Neiva, where Manuel Aquino resides. Prudencio has been a world radio speaker for us for over 40 years. In 1976 he started. That's before I was born.
Esteban, ven donde mí.
We did a world radio newsletter article about Prudencio years ago. It called him the Dominican Paul. And that's really who he is, and that's who his family is as well. There are 8 new churches that have sprouted up over this time, where there were 0 before. He's the only world radio speaker to be involved with every world radio director, including myself. So pretty neat legacy that he has set. You have plenty of people to take you to the church.
Bueno, desde todo el tiempo que he estado con ustedes, le he dicho a través de mi reporte que me siento tan agradecido con Dios y con ustedes, porque si no hubiese sido por ustedes, no podía llevar este ministerio por unos 46 años. A la vez ha sido muy exitoso para el país y fuera del país.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I see that close it in 45 minutes. Wrap it up. Yes. So like I said, Prudencio has been a world radio speaker for over 40 years. It's actually our flagship world radio broadcast. So Mike and I got the pleasure of being on that broadcast this morning. Now, because of the pandemic, the radio station is essentially closed. They're running a skeleton crew. So the way Prudencio records is he records in his bedroom on his phone and sends that to the radio station. They upload it and they produce that broadcast every week. A statement, of course, was there to translate, and it was just a wonderful time. What an honor and a blessing it was to be on the program that is our longest standing world radio broadcast. Meanwhile, in Neiva, our team, led by Robert Abels, met with our world radio speakers and ministered to residents both past and present of a local children's home. Our key partner in Neiva is Manuel Aquino.
Visit Manuel was great. It always is encouraging. He's full of laughs and stuff, and he showed us his water house, which he's very proud of. And actually, Water at Work says it's one of the most successful water houses that they have in the country. So he provides water for people who can't afford it sometimes, and so it costs him, but it's a ministry. We brought in several people to meet with us that are world radio speakers and have been for a long time. They told us some wonderful stories about how people call in, and they get on Facebook much like we do in the States, and they've had calls from as far away as Spain, and they've had calls from almost every country in Central America, inquiring and asking questions about the gospel and what it means to follow Jesus. And the next day, Adam and Stephanie took the kids to the beach. Many of them had never seen the ocean before, and it was a really cool place. It's what's considered the world's shortest river. It's about 100 yards long. It runs from a natural spring into the ocean, and it's clear and crystal, and the kids were able to play in it and to swim in it.
So last night we were able to visit one of the many churches that Prudencio has planted in this area, in La Caída. La Caída is a church of about 75 to 100 people. The membership is mostly Haitian. So it was pretty interesting as we met there, and Mike Kellett was able to speak and deliver us a message out of Psalms, which was then translated into Spanish, which was then having to be translated into Creole. So we had 2 extra translators, a little bit of a difficult task. But what was great about it was that the Word of God was still represented. One of the great joys that we get in this job is to worship in different parts of the world, and to be able to worship and hear the beautiful singing in Creole is truly a blessing. neat to see is that Prudencio is discipling and raising up future leaders of the church to preach, go out, make disciples, spread the gospel, and plant new churches. But Prudencio never has wanted to make the work about himself. He's acquired many pieces of land over the years to plant new churches, but has never taken ownership of that land. He always puts that land in the name of the church so the work continues on.
Por esa ingratitud, por no haber sido fiel al quien tanto te amó.
Bravo. Muy lindo. Gracias, hermana.
Dale una mano.
No, no la necesitaba.
As we wrap up our trip to the Dominican Republic, I'm reflecting on how excited I am about the work that's going on here. As you know, we split into two teams, one that went to the north to Mao and one that went to the southwest in Neiva. And I can say for me, as leader of the Mao team, I'm so thankful and grateful for the work that Prudencio and his family is doing in that part of the country.
It's been a worldwide pandemic. You know, sometimes we think it's just our country, but it's everywhere, the whole world. So in changing times, God does things that always amaze us. And that's what's happened in the Dominican Republic, same thing.
The future lies in the next generation. Their children. We have amazing collaborators with Gerson and his wife Cesarina, and also with Prudencio's daughters, Betelis and Naomi. So I see another 40 years at least of awesome partnership.
Y esperamos en el Señor que el Señor continúe haciendo el trabajo, que yo creo que lo más que quiere el ser humano es que este mensaje, nosotros los cristianos, siga creciendo y creciendo con fines de levantar alma para el Señor.